Uh, since you brought it up, I might as well talk about the that story you mentioned. I just thought it was really interesting that there was this report that came out this week called "Justice Tech for All: How Technology Can Ethically Disrupt the U.S. Justice System." But it was really focused on this sector called justice tech. Some of you listening here probably know, like, the company Paladin, which is a pro bono platform for law firms that expressly positions itself as a justice tech company. But this report was really interesting because it really kind of mapped out the landscape of what's going on in justice tech, and it's a lot broader than legal tech. I mean, it's all focused on, well, how did they define it? Their definition is justice tech refers to technology-enabled innovation that supports people affected by the U.S. criminal and civil justice system and their families and the organizations that serve them, from initial interception by law enforcement to incarceration to reentry. I don't really like that definition because it makes it sound very criminal focused, and it's not just criminal law. It's clearly civil and criminal, and that's what's interesting about the report is the tech isn't just legal tech. It's healthcare tech. It's financial tech. It's communications tech. What else do they? Future of work tech. I mean, a lot of it is focused on the criminal justice system, and that a lot of it is focused on helping people who have been in the criminal justice system get back into work, or get their financial affairs in order, or whatever else. But it's also tech as simple as things like this one e-court date, which basically helps courts message with people through text messaging and to make sure they show up for their court hearing on time and that sort of thing. But what was interesting about this report is it was compiled by a couple of VC firms that focus on this sector, and it was really addressed to other VC firms to encourage them to invest in this sector. Something I don't think it addressed very explicitly is what the potential payout is for VC firms with this kind of tech. A lot of these companies do tend to be smaller, but then again, some of them are getting to be pretty significant and have had some pretty significant investment. So that was really interesting.
And that's what I was thinking too, because of the way that they identified these areas with financial, future of work, and government tech. It reminds me a lot of the civic justice projects that are happening, these marriages of civic tech and justice tech. But those are all nonprofit. And this is really focused on for-profit capabilities in this space. And so that's really interesting, and that's why I thought of it when Victoria was talking, because these are things like business formation. These are really getting into some of the automated processes that can be more attractive to larger groups across the country that may be able to scale to something that would be more attractive in a for-profit company.
Right. And they make the point that there is foundation support, there is institutional support for nonprofits that are developing tech in this area to some extent, although even those institutions, from my experience, aren't putting a lot of money into tech as much as into direct services. But there's not a lot of people putting money into the for-profit side of this sector.